Hi, I'm Zoe. I'm here with Eddie Izzard, who is touring the country and is here in Nottingham as part of his Stand Up for Europe campaign. How are you, Eddie?
I am good. I am quite tired because campaigning does take a lot out of you. You need to talk to a lot of people. But it's now day 18 out of 31 days. But I'm energized. I'm doing question time tonight. So yeah, it's good to be in Nottingham again.
Okay, brilliant. So obviously your campaign is directed at young people in particular. So can you tell us a bit more about your campaign and why you are targeting young people?
Well, for some reason, I think it's because I'm 22, even though exteriorly I'm obviously 109. But because I run marathons, I'm a transgender guy, I tour France in French, I tour Germany in German. People say, well, these are maybe more modern things than an old-fashioned way of doing things. I do things out of the box. I was a street performer, I now play Hollywood Bowl. I want all the advantages of being able to play in Europe. I've played 18 countries out of the 28 in Europe in 4 languages now.
Wow.
And I want everyone who's a young person to have those opportunities. And most young people see the positive nature of the idea of Europe. They see the opportunities, travel, low-cost flights. Those are going to go down in price. Those are going to go up in price, I should say, and down in the number of them. If we pull out, you're just going to have, and the chief executive of EasyJet and Ryanair have said this, roaming charges, they're going to go up. They're going down to 0 extra roaming charges next year. Healthcare, free healthcare across Europe. We'll have to renegotiate that to see if we can do that. And that all makes things more difficult. We'd have to get visas to go and visit places. Erasmus scheme where students can be students from low-income backgrounds. They can be students all around the European Union. The £1 billion a year that we get into our universities, all that goes away. So I say let's keep that and keep working on it. It's not perfect, but we've got to be inside it to change it and to make it better.
Yeah, they're all very great reasons to stay, I agree, but I mean there are a lot of issues such as immigration, housing prices, the effect on wages and things like that a lot of young people are concerned about.
Well, housing prices, being in the European Union is going to help us. Our economy is going to be better. We are most likely to go into recession if we come out. Now, the Brexit side say, no, that's not true, but the governor of the Bank of England says that. The head of this Confederation of British Industry says that. The Organisation for Economic Cooperation and Development says that. The Institute for Fiscal Studies says that. The IMF, International Monetary Fund, the World Trade Organization, the World Bank, all those experts. Now, either they're all lying or they've got something going and they're saying this doesn't look good. Sarah Wollaston, the GP on the Brexit side, she just exited the Brexit side and she has joined the Remain side. She was a doctor and she said there's all this scaremongering going on about the NHS. They're lying about the figures, and she says it's better for the NHS if we stay inside the European Union. We have Barack Obama agrees with them. Hillary Clinton backs them up. And Donald Trump is the only one on the Brexit side, and he is to the right of Attila the Hun.
There's a lot of young people who would probably say they just don't really care about Europe. What would you say to them? Why should they care?
Do they want to go on a head night and stag night? If they want to have more complicated, make it more expensive and have to get a visa to do that, if they want to do that, then vote to exit and have more problems and have more complications. If they care about humanity, if they don't care about anything, then they're probably not registered. But if they've registered to vote, then they must care about something. They care about their own lives. Even if they're very selfish and just me, I don't care about anyone else. Pound in your pocket, your own ability to spend money. If we have a good economy, then you have more money. You get better jobs. If you're coming out from being a student, you want to be able to get a job and not have recession. We could well go into recession. So just personally, it's from that angle. But I think young people want someone with a vision of a positive vision of the future. I'm trying to live it and breathe it. I'm a transgender man. Came out 31 years ago. I'm touring in the French language. I played 5,200 people across France in the French language last year. That's got to be positive 200 years after the Battle of Waterloo. Just from a human being point of view, let's do this kind of politics where we're reaching out our hands and saying, hello, who are you? What can I learn from you? Let's head in that direction rather than backwards and down, forwards and upwards rather than backwards and down.
Okay, so what would you say to people who are worried about the kind of accountability of the EU? And there's a lot of issues around, are they really transparent? Do we know what's actually going on in the European Commission? Do you think those are issues that still need to be addressed, and can they be addressed if we stay?
Well, yes. If we want to change anything, we have to be inside there to change it. The Prime Minister of Norway, that is not in the European Union, says if you want to change anything, be inside it to change it. Otherwise, we just get emailed the rules and we have to obey them all when we're trading in. So that won't help. The MEPs are directly elected. They're elected all throughout our country. We know this happens in the European elections, but we have the House of Lords, which is not directly elected. We have that in our own country, so that's not perfect. I don't like that. things aren't perfect in the European Union, but to change them we have to be inside it. We have judges here that aren't elected. They have judges over there that aren't elected, they're appointed. But this is how the system works at the moment. If we want to change anything, we've got to be inside it. What signal does it send to the world from running and hiding? We're British people, we don't run and hide. People said when there were the atrocities happening in Belgium and in France, they said, oh, we could put up a wall and we could keep that out. That isn't how we should behave. We're British people. We should be standing shoulder to shoulder with the Belgians, shoulder to shoulder with the French people, and saying, if you're having a tough time, we'll have a tough time too. We will stand with you against these religious fascists that are the ISIS people. I mean, it's a twisted idea about Islam, which is not what I think Islam was set up for, not what Muhammad set up Islam for. That was a much more positive idea with thou shalt not kill built into it. So all this idea of running and hiding, that's just not the British way. Let's stand and fight for our place in Europe.
Okay, so if you were to sum up the message you're trying to get across in 1 or 2 sentences, what would that be?
We've got to be heading towards a world where everyone has a fair chance. If we're going to do this, we're the first continent to ever try and do it. We've got to do this, otherwise people will be despairing. Despair is the fuel of terrorism. Hope is the fuel of civilization. Let's keep putting hope out into the world.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you for speaking with us. Lovely to meet you.